Okay, here we are with part 10. All right. So basically, you're going to listen to a part of a story. I'm going to read it to you. All I need you to do is listen, and you're going to make a picture in your mind. You're going to make that movie, paint that picture. And as I'm reading, I want you to think about what's happening, and then afterwards, we're going to take a minute talk, and you're going to retell me kind of what you've imagined the story being about. So the title of the chapter is Lucy Looks into a Wardrobe. Interesting. Do you know what a wardrobe is?
Yeah, it's kind of like where you, like, it's where you can store clothes.
Yeah, it's a freestanding closet. Very good. So to paint the picture, give you an idea of what's happened earlier in the story. These kids are staying with an old professor in a countryside far away from London because there's a war happening. They're bored because it's raining outside, and now they're exploring this old house. And so now we're going to jump in the story and see what's going on. So, page 5. Here we are. And shortly after that, they looked into a room that was quite empty except for one big wardrobe, the sort that had a looking glass in the door. There was nothing else in the room at all except a dead blue bottle in the windowsill. Nothing there, said Peter, and they all trooped out again, all except Lucy. She stayed behind because she thought it would be worthwhile trying the door of the wardrobe, even though she felt almost sure that it would be locked. To her surprise, it opened quite easily, and 2 mothballs dropped out. No. Do you know what a mothball is?
No.
I'm going to draw it for you. So, kind of looks like this. Yes, it's basically a chemical pesticide that helps preserving clothes, and people put it in their closets or in their drawers to help keep bugs away. So, that's a mothball. Okay, so where are we? Looking into the inside, she saw several coats hanging up, mostly long fur coats. There was nothing Lucy liked so much as the smell and feel of fur. She immediately stepped into the wardrobe and got in among the coats and rubbed her face against them, leaving the door open, of course, because she knew that it is very foolish to shut oneself into any wardrobe. Okay, how do you picture this wardrobe?
Very long.
Yeah, it's long, it's big enough for her to get into. It doesn't really say so far how old she is, but I'm assuming she's pretty good size. But yeah, it must be a pretty big wardrobe. I'm going to draw a picture of her getting into this wardrobe. Yes. Okay. Against the wardrobe. Okay, soon she went further in and found that there was a second row of coats hanging up behind the first one. It was almost quite dark in there, and she kept her arms stretched out in front of her so as to not bump her face onto the back of the wardrobe. She took a step further in, and then 2 or 3 steps, always expecting to feel the woodwork against the tips of her fingers, but she couldn't feel it. This must be a simply enormous wardrobe, thought Lucy, going still further in and pushing the soft folds of the coats aside to make room for her. Then she noticed that there was something crunching under her feet. I wonder if that's more mothballs, she thought, stooping down to feel it with her hands, but instead of feeling the hard, soft wood of the floor of the wardrobe, she felt something soft and powdery and extremely cold. This is very queer, she said, and then she went in a step or 2 further. Okay, so how are we picturing her?
She with her hands out, like trying to feel the end of the wardrobe.
Yeah.
And she starts feeling other things.
Pause. Great job. Okay, now, from what we've read, recap for me what's happening in your own words.
Well, Lucy walks into the wardrobe. She is just exploring it, rubbing her face on the floor on the fur coats, and then there's a second row of coats, and she keeps going. Then, like, she puts her hands out, and she tries to feel for the end of the wardrobe, but she can't feel it, and she starts feeling like powdery cold, and
That's very good. Tell me more about what happened in the beginning.
well, they were exploring the house,
Mm-hmm.
and she thought the wardrobe was locked, but it was actually unlocked. She could go in there.
Very good. And tell me more. Tell me more. What's happening?
Well, from my idea of the story, it looks like what the powdery thing was snow, and maybe she's walking into a forest, but so she knows a lot about, or she's going through the fur coats, and she walks until, yeah.
That was beautiful.